Hello, this video is to show you how I changed the upstream O2 oxygen sensor on an '03 Volvo S60 non-turbo. Okay, I ordered this part from Amazon. It was about $198. I called the Volvo dealer to see if I could get a genuine part, and they were going to charge me $340 just for the oxygen sensor. You make the choice. The oxygen sensor is right there. See if you can see it. It's got the wire coming off of it. There is a shroud that goes there. I'll show you that when I go to put it back together. I've already had this thing off. The clip that you want to get to is behind this hose, so I'm going to remove that. I'd already loosened it up, so it just pulls off. I've disconnected the clip already. You can see the clip right there. You got to be really careful with these. They're really hard to get apart. They get a little bit of dirt in them, so they're tough to get apart. But if you push down on that top piece, or you get a small screwdriver in there, very carefully, just put a little bit of pressure on, and then jiggle them apart. I've already removed this bolt here and this bolt here. It gives you a little bit of room to work. It wasn't necessary to remove that one off the engine. This is the tool I'm using to remove the oxygen sensor. It says 7/8 inches. It's 22 millimeter. Your socket wrench will fit in here. It's got a split in it to allow you to get by the wire. Using your special tool, you slide that on. All right, there's not a lot of room to work. You're going to have to get a ratchet on there, and you get about one click on the ratchet. So you just kind of have to, by moving this position on this special tool and moving around your ratchet, you'll get about, like I said, about one click on the ratchet. It's kind of a pain. So I've already loosened it up. I already got it out. What you want to pay attention to before you order your new part is this is what mine looks like. This is my third one I've ordered. I finally have the right one. If you look at that little hunk of plastic right there, if you get one in the mail and it's got the hunk of plastic on the other side, that's probably for the rear oxygen sensor, and you got the wrong one. This is a little shroud that I told you was there earlier. Just goes on, goes down, screws in, just to protect it from the heat. All right, I just put a little bit of anti-seize on there. Doesn't take a lot, and you don't want to mess up the sensor. Not a lot of room to work. The cord wants to get tangled up. Doesn't help that it's cold out and I can't feel my fingers. Okay, I finally got it started. Took longer than it should have. Back in there with the tool. Being careful not to pinch any wires. I did disconnect the battery for this. So there's not much leverage. Of course, everything's now wedged up against the firewall. You have to reposition the special socket over so you have room. Looks like I got it. Okay, let's see if you can see that. That's the sensor. It's got the shroud on it. I just got to route the wires back underneath those hoses, zip tie them so they don't jiggle around, and plug them back in. Okay, I got the electrical connector connected up. I'm going to put the metal hose back on. Get the crossbar back on. Try not to lose the nuts down into the engine bay. Okay, so I put the oxygen sensor back in. I routed the wires back where they were. I zip tied them down so they don't jiggle around and chafe. Got it plugged back in. Got the metal hose back on. Reattached the two bolts I had taken off the crossbar. After I connected the battery back up and plugged in the scanner, it was showing no codes. Having the battery off must have cleared out all the codes. Current sensor, bank 1, sensor 1. Don't know if you can see it. Got a little sine wave thing going. At least it's not flatlining.